Good afternoon, everyone. It's pepper time. So I've kind of got everything laid out in the pattern that I wanted in the grow bags and in the garden bed. So we're just going to go through really quickly, maybe stopping only to discuss a few things, but I'm just ready to get these babies in the ground. I've been babysitting them since March. Even had to take them back inside a few days ago because of the weather. Dropped down to the low 40s. So hopefully the forecast for the rest of the season is going to be great and we're not going to have to cover anything or backtrack or anything else. So let's get started. In this grow bag, I might seem like I'm planting a little densely, but it really worked out for me last year and I really liked the way everything grew. They always say peppers like to hold hands, so it may seem a little close, but I think it'll be okay. Some of the larger, like bell peppers, I'm putting directly in the garden bed, and some of the smaller varieties or medium varieties, I'm going to be putting in grow bags. And again, I'm planting a little densely. You may not plant that densely. Everyone has their own thing, and this is the way that I'm going to do it. So come along, join me as I plant my pepper plants. We'll start out with the oldest pepper plants. I grew these last spring. They did very well all summer into the fall, and I decided to take them inside and overwinter them. So this was my second year overwintering plants, and my first year I took about 20-25 plants inside and absolutely nothing made it. I take that back. One plant made it, but by the time I took it outside, it didn't make it. These three I took inside probably October, early November, and here they are. They're already starting to sprout new growth, and I think they're gonna make it, hopefully. So we'll see, but we're gonna plant them in this garden, this grow bag right here. So I'm gonna move these out of the way so I can start digging my holes to plant. I do use granular fertilizer in my grow bags. So I did come out maybe a couple of weeks ago and put some granular fertilizer in these bags so that it could start breaking down. So I won't be adding any more today. Sorry about all the noise. It's a nice day outside and there's a baby crying in the background. There's someone playing their music really loud in the cars that are going by. It's just a lot going on right now. So hopefully you're not distracted by any of that extra noise. So I'm just breaking up some of the clumps here on top of the soil and just getting it mixed in. We have had rain for the past few days, so it's nice and moist. I will be watering after I do get everything in, but yep, it's nice and moist. I'm really interested to see the root system on these. This one was double potted like this, so I had left it. And yeah, looks like it has a pretty good root system. And I'm going to bury it just a little bit deeper than I would normally bury it, just because some of the soil in this bag is going to settle. As a matter of fact, I know it's going to settle. So that was a sweet long, and so that was a banana pepper from last year. And this was a jalapeno. Looks a little dry in there. Snug it in really good. And this was a big gem, so this is a chili pepper. So these three peppers are the ones that I am most excited about. just because they're from last year and they're the oldest peppers in the garden. So if you didn't know, you can definitely overwinter peppers. If you live in a northern climate, you just have to take them inside. So they will fill out and get a little bushier. But again, peppers do like to touch hands, hold hands a little bit. So we should be good. Just want to make sure everything's in there good and snug. And I'm going to bring you guys around a little bit closer. Hopefully that's a better angle for you. So again, I'm just going to roughen up the soil just a little bit. It's not compacted at all. I just like to work it just a little bit. And since I did add peat moss to these bags, I did add a little bit of lime so the soil wouldn't be so acidic. So hopefully that's had a little time to start breaking down and soaking into the soil as well. So this is our shishito pepper. It's a little wobbly there, isn't it? Hopefully once I get it planted into the ground, it's a little bit more stable. And again, I will be planting it a little bit deeper than I normally would. Again, because the soil is gonna settle and because I wanna have it snugged in really good. Last year I did do 4 peppers in a 30-gallon bag, and it worked out really well. So I think 3 in these, are these 10 or 15? I think these are 10 or either 15, but based on how everything has went in the past, I still think that this should be an appropriate size to grow the amount of peppers that I am. It's just that when the summer hits and it gets really warm, I'm definitely gonna have to keep up on watering. It's just so much easier to dig with your hands. And this is Jimmy Nardello here. Great peppers. I did add a little chopstick here, or skewer, whatever we want to call it, because the plant was leaning a little bit. It didn't have a lot of support, so hopefully that helps it grow a little upright here. So that's our 2 shishitos and our Jimmy Nardello. So in this bag, I have my marigolds already started. So since they're taking up a little bit of room, I think I'm only gonna do 2 in this garden bed. And I don't wanna move the soil around too much in this one, so. This is another sweet long. So a sweet long could be like an ancho, it could be a banana pepper. It could be a serrano, not a serrano. I'm lying. It's between a banana pepper and some other pepper. Can't quite think of it right now. But I do like these. And this one is also another sweet long. And some of you may be asking, Am I really going to use all those peppers? Yes, I do. I do end up freezing my peppers and using them throughout the winter. So I will definitely be using all the peppers. It was about time to pop these up as well. They were getting a little dry. So that's those. And so now that you guys have kind of got the gist of it, I'm gonna go ahead and plant out these bags and I'll be right back. So now that some of the grow bags are already planted up, let's move over to planting the grow tower. I'm going to put just a few peppers in here as well. I do need to get some labels so I can make sure I label these so I won't be like last year in like middle of July wondering what I planted and having to wait till it actually sprouts something. So this is a jalapeno. I'll have to remember that this is a jalapeno, or I'll have to go back and watch this video to remember that. And my peppers grew very well in the green stalk last year. For anyone that's not familiar, this is a green stalk planter. There's 6 tiers, 6 planting holes, and I have this one set up with 4 tiers because I'm just so short, even though it comes with 5. And there's like a watering station in between each level and a main waterer at the top. So that's my jalapenos, and as you can see, there's already a small jalapeno sprouting on there. I did not do any bell peppers in here last year, so I do not know how this YOLO Wonder is going to do, but guess what? I'm still gonna try it anyway. So anything that's gonna be taller, you wanna make sure that you do plant it on the lower level. That way it has room to grow up. And they do sell plant supports for these green stalk towers, but I ended up just tying a piece of string around this area right here and tying my plant up, and it worked out perfect. I will take off some of these lower leaves because again, I'm planting them a little deeper. And you know I have to throw that soil back in there because we don't waste soil around here. We don't waste soil at all. Soil is so expensive if you garden. Sorry about the kids, that's our neighbors. Probably have to just edit them out. And I have another jalapeno. I feel like I have way too many jalapenos, so I'm actually probably not going to put this one in. Yeah, I'm probably not going to put this one in at the moment. So let's hold off on that one. And that is everything I'm going to put in the green stalk for now. I think I'm going to backtrack after I figure out what else I want to put in here. But let's go ahead and go to the in-ground bed. I'm going to put this jalapeno off to the side. So I haven't quite 100% figured out what I want to do with the Swiss chard. It is growing so beautifully. Let me get out the way. That might help you see it. Like, look at it. It is beautiful. I have Swiss chard growing in this in-ground raised bed, and I also have some growing in the grow bags. The ones in the beds are doing like 10 times better than the ones in the grow bag. So I kind of want to leave them here. They're so beautiful to begin with, but I don't really have enough to harvest and like kind of cook. So I'm just gonna leave them for now and plant my peppers around it until I figure out what I want to do. Gardening is kind of just figuring out what you want to do. So this is a Keystone Giant, and so I'm gonna get this planted in. And since this is an in-ground bed, the soil is a little bit tougher. Uh-oh, caught a worm there. I did top it off with some soil, and I'll probably end up topping it off with a little bit more mid-season. I have to make sure I put these labels back because I really won't know what I planted at all. And I'm gonna plant these not too far apart. I'm gonna give them just a little bit of room. This is the King of the North, which is supposedly a good pepper to grow in northern climates where it gets a little bit cooler. So it should take off and do great while it's still very cool outside. This is another Keystone Giant. And actually, before I put that one in, I'm probably gonna put this other row in back here just so I won't have to reach over plants. I'm short, you know. I'm gonna keep saying that. Okay, let me put that down. Let me make sure you guys can see me. Make sure you guys can see me on there. Maybe turn you just a little bit more. Yeah, there's that. So I do have my onions back here in this row. And I honestly don't know how they're doing. Oh my goodness. You guys, look at this worm. Can you see that? It's freaking huge. But he's helping my garden, so let's get him back in there. I always try to be a little careful so I don't cut them up while I'm digging. Because I feel very sad when I do that. Okay. So that's my Yellow Wonder. Uh-oh, where is he? Get back over there so I won't cut you up. I'm always scared about those jumping worms that they're always talking about. And another reason why this bed gets so compacted is because we do have a tree behind me, and it's a huge tree, and the roots do grow into this garden area over here. And so I'm going to plant the rest of these out and we'll come back. Okay, so it seems like we have an unscheduled birthday party, so I'm going to have to finish up this vlog and let you guys see what we have done so far. So we have planted out our bell peppers here in between the Swiss Chards. We did go ahead and plant out some of the peppers here in the green stalk tower as well. That one's leaning a little bit, so I'm gonna have to get it picked up. So yes, those look very nice in here. This is also a pepper that I planted a couple of weeks ago just to see if it would survive out in the night, and it looks like it is. And then let's go around to the other side. So this is an eggplant. I decided to only do one in a pot. I think that's plenty. It's gonna get pretty big. We have our jalapenos here. I did do 2 of those in a 5-gallon. I have 1 Hungarian pepper, and we only need 1. It produces so many peppers, and they are so very, very hot. And then we have all of our other smaller to medium variety bell peppers here in these grow bags. So I'm not done planting out, but because you guys won't be able to hear me anyway, we're probably gonna have to continue this on another day, or just do a review of what I have planted if I have time to plant out some more stuff tonight. Just because some of the good goes along with the bad. These are my, what are these? These are my dragon tongue beans, and as you can see, they have been completely eaten. Completely. So the snails and the slugs have gotten to those and completely gnawed them down. So I will have to replant my beans. So again, thank you for joining me today, and hope to see you soon.